What's up, guys? Welcome back to the second part of this Jake Paul versus Mike Perry fight week breakdown. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about the three things that Jake Paul has to do if he wants to win this fight against Mike Perry. If you didn't see on my last video, we talked about ways that Mike Perry can win this fight. Now I think it's only fair that we flip it, and now we talk about some of the ways that Jake Paul wins this fight. I said in my last video that I'm leaning towards Jake Paul in this match, and these are some of the reasons why. We're about to start breaking it down, and to me it just comes down to really one simple thing that all three of these things I'm about to talk about really revolve around, and it's Jake Paul's boxing IQ. So what are the three things that Jake Paul absolutely needs to do if he wants to win this fight? Let's talk about it. Okay, so the first thing that Jake Paul absolutely has to do, and it might be the most crucial thing, is he has to use the jab and he has to keep his range against Mike Perry. So Jake Paul is obviously the more natural boxer. He has more boxing experience, and Jake Paul has to use that range well. I believe he's going to have a longer wingspan than Mike Perry, so he's going to have to pop that jab out, especially in rounds 1, 2, create that distance, and Jake Paul's going to want to keep a mid to long range distance because obviously he's going to be throwing more straight punches, in my opinion, as opposed to Mike Perry's more looping wide hooks that he's going to be throwing. Jake's going to be throwing a lot of jabs and a lot of straight right hands. So if he can use that jab to maneuver his range early and keep distance, I think he's going to be set up for success early in this fight. He can't let this fight get close in distance early. He cannot let Mike Perry close the gap early in this fight, or else he's going to start getting hit with some shots that he does not want to get hit with early against Mike Perry. But I think with his experience, I think he will be able to keep this range. He's done it in his last couple of fights against Ryan Borland and against Andre August. He did it in the Nate Diaz fight really well as well. Using that jab, just popping it out, keeping him at a distance, I think is going to be crucial in this fight. And once he has Mike Perry in range with that mid to long range, using his jab to set him up for that, then he can start throwing that right hand, timing it a lot better and figuring out that range a lot better, how close Mike Perry is. And it all starts with the jab, and Jake Paul being the more experienced boxer, I think he will do that, and I think he has to do that, especially early on in this fight if he wants a chance at winning. Okay, the second thing that Jake Paul absolutely has to do is he's got to be smart in that ring against Mike Perry. So what do I mean by that? Jake Paul is the more experienced boxer. He's got to be smart, and he cannot take stupid chances against Mike Perry. Things I mean by that is he can't just sit there in the pocket and just throw wild shots with Mike Perry and then go blow for blow with him. He cannot get lazy in there against Mike Perry. Think, oh, I'm the better boxer. I've been boxing for longer. I've got this in the bag. No, he's got to stay switched on. And he has to be smart with his shot selection. So he can't just throw the right hand, the right hook, the left hook just out of nowhere. And I know he's not going to do this. He's a smart enough boxer. He's been boxing for 6 years. Just pick his shots wisely is all I mean. And I know he's going to do that. If he just will let Mike Perry go wild, get into range, use head movement, use his guard, I think that he will be able to do that just fine. And then Mike Perry will show that he's tired, and then Jake will be able to start picking his shots a lot more wisely, putting combinations together, and eventually drop Mike Perry. The last thing that I think Jake Paul has to do to win this fight, and honestly, it has really nothing to do with the in-ring stuff. I think Jake Paul, he just has to be Jake Paul. And I mean that for the whole entire fight week. Just be relaxed, just have fun, get in Mike Perry's head, play those mind games, have fun at the open workouts, the press conference, bring the robots, have fun at the weigh-ins. But once you get to weigh-ins and you look Mike Perry in the eye once you've weighed in, get that more serious look. Get to fight night, have the fun walkout, be relaxed, and then obviously once you get into the ring, get more serious. And Jake Paul has done that pretty much every fight week, and obviously it's worked for him really well. And I think a lot of that is because Jake Paul brings a lot of an unorthodox approach to fight week. He has fun. He doesn't just get all angry, raw, you know what I mean? Like, he doesn't try to play the tough guy. All he's got to do in fight week is just be relaxed, be himself. And I think that some of those things will help him be more relaxed come fight night. And again, these are things I know he's probably going to end up doing, so I'm just kind of preaching to the choir at this point. But I think if Jake Paul can just be relaxed, be himself, pick a fun walkout song. Freaking Andre August fight, he walked out to Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree. Tyron Woodley too, he walked out to the YMCA. Just stuff like that keeps him relaxed, keeps him focused, and doesn't get him all riled up to be someone that he isn't. So those are the three things that I think Jake Paul needs to do in order to win this fight. He's going to have to use his jab, keep that range, be the smart fighter, show his IQ in the ring, and just be Jake Paul. Just be Jake Paul throughout fight week. Have fun with this. Don't take him lightly though, because if you lose to Mike Perry here, the Mike Tyson fight, you can forget about it. So I think Jake Paul will be switched on this fight week, and I will go more in depth into how I think he wins this fight on fight day, but I will come out with a video probably around Friday giving my real in-depth predictions about why I think Jake Paul is going to win this fight and how he wins this fight. But those are just a few key things that I think Jake Paul has to do to win this fight.